Is an all-out war between Israel and Hezbollah inevitable now? Will the escalating tensions spark a regional war? Things seem to be heading in a very dangerous direction. Have a look at what's happened. In what is being called Hezbollah's biggest attack in weeks, it said it fired dozens of rockets at a military base in northern Israel in retaliation for Israeli strikes on Lebanon, announcing 4 of its fighters had been killed. Hezbollah said its fighters bombed the main air and missile defense base of the Israeli Northern Area Command with dozens of Katyusha rockets. They said this was, quote, in response to the enemy attacks, quote unquote. It also claimed 2 other attacks on Israeli troops and positions, including one with drones. Meanwhile, Lebanon's official national news agency reported Israeli attacks in several areas of South Lebanon on Thursday. It also said a strike a day earlier in Nabateh wounded more than 20 people when a 2-story building was targeted. And what has Israel said? As per the Israeli military, approximately 35 launches were identified crossing from Lebanon. It added that air defenses successfully intercepted most of the launches and no injuries were reported. Not just that, it also said airstrikes, quote-unquote, eliminated 3 Hezbollah operatives and that 2 UAVs, drones, that were identified crossing from Lebanon fell in northern Israel, reporting no injuries. Let me also tell you what the Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant said on a visit to Washington. He said that his country does not want war in Lebanon, but was ready to inflict massive damage on Hezbollah if diplomacy fails. He said, quote unquote, we do not want war, but we are preparing for every scenario. Let's just take a step back here and just put these things in perspective for you. All of this is coming at a time when there have been growing fears and concerns about an all-out war between Israel and Hezbollah, which, in one word, would be catastrophic. Also note here, Hezbollah is far more powerful than Hamas. We told you earlier how the US has drawn the red line on Hezbollah. It was a stern warning. America basically warned Hezbollah to not assume that the US can stop Israel from attacking them. This was as per a Politico report. So US officials who are trying to prevent a bigger war are sending out a strong message to Hezbollah as per that report. The message from the US has been clear that they cannot be counted upon to stop an Israeli attack. And that was aimed at getting Hezbollah to back down. American officials have recently also made their way to the region in order to attempt reining in the 2 sides. So serious efforts have been made to dial down the tensions. In fact, there have been a series of Western diplomatic efforts in that direction. On Tuesday, in fact, the German foreign minister visited Beirut and cautioned that miscalculation could trigger all-out war, also urging extreme restraint. On Thursday, France's foreign ministry also said that Paris was extremely concerned about the fighting, calling all sides to exercise the greatest restraint. But then, is an escalation inevitable is the question. One spark could set the entire region on fire. That's something that the world cannot afford. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.